Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new F1 2021 video. Today we're racing around Spa-Francorchamps again for the PSGL preseason league race. This is gonna be the last PSGL preseason league race. And my second last one in general, because I've got WR, which I'm not actually gonna be competing in for the league racing season. I'm only gonna be doing PSGL. Simply with F1 Esports, it's pretty tough to mix league racing as well in. So only gonna be doing one league race or one league in general until December or January, and then I might start doing two again, as then the F1 Esports season is over. So that's that. Let me get the calendar up here for PSGL. I remember in Barcelona I said 16th of August is the first race, but the first race is 12th of August in Bahrain. And then 19th of August is France. So it's all the left dates instead of the right dates, because I think on the Barcelona video I said it's all the right dates, but it's actually all the left dates. So it's 12th of August, 19, 26, 2 September, 9 September, 16 September, Silverstone, 23 September, Austria, etc, etc. So gonna be interesting. Today we're driving around Spa, as I said before, as we just go through pool, and we're just warming up our tires a little bit. We're one of the last to start our lap, I think so. I think we actually might be the last. So going into the final sector, I didn't really practice that much. I did prepare a little bit, so I hope I can do pretty well around here today, especially in qualifying. Did practice quite a bit of qualifying, so gonna be interesting to see what we're gonna be able to do. This is our first real test, as I think this is our first race in the preseason races where we're allowed to use custom setups. So gonna be interesting. Preparing my first lap now, coming out of the final corner, DRS open, and then into turn 1. Probably gonna keep it in 7th gear and then brake at the 100 meter board down to 2nd gear. Get nice rotation and good traction, which is super important, of course. You need to get a good exit, but at the same time you don't want to sacrifice too much the minimum speed for it. Now through Eau Rouge and Radeon, it's all easy flat, as we head onto Camel Straight, very long, one of the longest straights on the calendar, of course, and then into Le Combe, into sector 2, brake at 50 meters. I try to avoid this curb usually. I just wasn't comfortable using that inside curb. Our first sector was very good, as you can hear me say. Can you guys mute yourself, please? You guys won't be able to hear the engineers, as I on purpose muted them. Also, you might see my webcam is hiding some information, like the brake bias and differential. Of course, we don't want to give anything away before F1 Esports. Literally every little thing we give away is too much, so I'm not gonna be showing that until F1 Esports is over, probably. Into the last sector now, we have a middle split of 112.0, which is pretty good for a benchmark run or a banker. Now on to Blanchimont, which is all easy flat, as we head then into the bus stop chicane. As one of the last cars, so we will straight away be able to see where we are on the grid in this banker. Up to the line, DRS open, and it's gonna be a 139.901, which was at the time good enough for P4. After that, as you can see, a lot of people are already finishing their laps, so we dropped to P9 at the moment. Actually just to P10 as someone jumped us, but we're not really improving on this second run. Which means it was just a bad run, because the track evolves quite a lot throughout the session, and we stay P10, so that's not good. So let's hope we can improve for our final lap, which we are going to start now. Again, one of the last. I think these are McLaren and Alpine still behind us, but we are going to be one of the last. Only 20 seconds remaining into turn 1, and we're going to try to do it even better. Or sector 1 was pretty good on that last lap, I think so. But we go 600 sub. Actually, I think on my first banker is where I did a very good first sector. I think on my second one was a bit worse. But we're 600 sub, which is good That means we're on for 39.83 already, which is quite a decent improvement, of course. But of course we need to try and get a valid lap in. 500s up on Shanaka Clay, so pretty good first sector there. And then through the Lacombe section, 1.2 tenths up. And we've only had one sector, so absolutely brilliant lap so far. 1.4 tenths up, and then through here I go a little bit wide, and that invalidates my lap. So not ideal. Means we're going to be starting outside of the top 10. Alright, well, sorry, that's it. I've got to turn chat off now, because if people are spamming that shit, it's so distracting. So rest of the season, I'm going to have to turn chat off for league racing. So yeah, as you can hear me say there, I've got to turn chat off, because driving with chat on is just very distracting. But that's the kind of things I can try in pre-season league race, of course. But we're going to be starting on the mediums. Alternate strategy, going to be interesting. Usually alternate strategy is not super great around Spa, but you know, we will see. Again, it's not for championship points, it's just for trying things out, basically. New game, so, oh well, not as new anymore, it's already almost a month out. But still, there are things we need to learn. Mediums, I think so. As you can hear me say, almost everyone on mediums as we start a formation lap, or at least everyone outside of the top 10. Top 10 is obviously going to start on the softs. They're going to be interesting, as I moved off the line a little bit too quick. Yep. But let's skip through the formation lap, as that's boring. We're just going to be warming up tires. So, on to the race now. Starting behind Michael Romanidis and Tomek Paratsis. Sebastian Job is in here as well. I think he might be trying to qualify for F1 Esports. I'm not sure what he's going to be. Maybe he's going to be F1 Esports driver for AlphaTauri or something. But he's one of the best sim racers in the world. He won the iRacing, I don't know the exact championship, PESC I think so, championship, which is like iRacing World Championship. But anyway, now actually going back to the race, it was a bit clumsy in turn 1. And I lost the position to Sebastian Job. I'm gonna tuck in heading into a Rouge. I had to do a small lift because I was a little bit too close for comfort. And we've got now CRG Smasher right behind us, who is probably using a lot of his overtake as well. So are we. Smasher is going down the inside. We stay around the outside. Smasher backs out. And I think Smasher spun? Oh, no, actually Smasher still. That's an Alpine that I spun. From Nicolas Longue. So he had a terrible qualifying and now he's spun on the opening lap. So not a great start for him to this race. Sebastian Job might have gotten a warning there. I think he went a little bit wide. But yeah, not a great opening lap. We've lost the position. Someone who hadn't a great opening lap as well. Channa Kinsey in P13 on the softs. He probably started P10 on that used set of softs. But now he dropped back. So not a great start for him. Tomek Paratsis up to P12. And ahead of him is... Oh, actually no. Tomek Paratsis might be P11. I'm not sure. But yeah, now we need to try and put pressure on Sebastian Job. He's not very experienced on this game. So we should be able to be faster in the coming laps. Alternate strategy we are on is usually one I'm pretty comfortable on, as Dario Lumulo taps us from behind, and then I went a little bit into Sebastian Job. Luckily we didn't get damage, so that's all good. Michael Romanidis getting overtaken by Channa Kinsey maybe, but in the end he didn't, as you can see in front. Channa Kinsey P12 still, with Michael Romanidis in the Williams ahead of him. Michael is an F1 Esports driver for Williams, so he's been playing the F1 game for years. As Sebastian Job goes wide, and I felt like this is a prime moment to try and get past him. I'm going to use my overtake button into turn 1 and go down the inside of Sebastian Job. A little bit of a lock up in turn 1. You can see the right front locking up as the track falls away on the inside. And now up to a Rouge side by side. And this corner cannot be done side by side. And we crashed. So yeah, honestly, that crash was completely my fault.
I crashed the Job.
as you can even say, I crashed with Job. We lost position to Dario Lemulo again. So yeah, that crash was just my fault. I went a little bit wide.
I think that was my
actually
fault.
too wide. I took too much space off the corner, and he just had nowhere to go basically. So a bit unfortunate. After the race, I straight away apologized as the crash was just simply my fault. Here's Sebastian. He's on board from the crash. As you can see, we go side by side into Eau Rouge. Honestly, I felt, and also Sebastian felt, that it was going to be a lot easier side by side into Eau Rouge and Radeon, but it was not. As David Tonitza has been spun around by, I think, Fabrizio Donoso, but I'm not sure about that. So yeah, in this opening few laps, a lot of crashes happening. As now I'm gonna trying to pass Chana Kinsey on the main straight, as again I almost run into the back of him. I think missed my braking point a little bit. But yeah, after the crash I straight away apologized to Sebastian. We were both happy it was just a social race. And not an actual league race or F1 esports race. So yeah, the reason we are doing these races is of course to push the limits and try to find that limit. We went over it, or at least I went over it.
Oh, the nose was off. Oh my god.
As the next person has been spun around. Now we're up to P11 behind Dario Lemulo, Michael Romanidis, Philip Reitschneider, and Tomek Poratsis is the first one on the mediums. As you can see, we struggle with the balance of the car through there. But yeah, still behind Dario Lemulo, half a second behind. We're just trying to keep our ERS levels high to make some moves later on in this. And you can see Dario Lemulo getting a big snap of oversteer. And straight away in Poon, you can see he has no front downforce left. So I'm gonna turn on the overtake button and get past him here. As I get past Dario Lemulo, you can see Philip Reitschneider, 3-second penalty.
Lemulo.
So yeah, I expect Dario probably to come in this lap as he's losing so much time. You can see 1 second already, and I'm gonna be using some ERS to try and get back into the DRS from Michael Romanidis. You can see Dario Lemulo is gone behind me, has gone into the pits by now, probably changed his front wing. But yeah, now both Michael and Reitschneider have a 3-second penalty. And you can see Philip almost spun there. So almost lost the back end, and now he has lost DRS to Tomek ahead. So that's not good for both me and Michael, because now we have to close that gap again once we get past Philip. And we first have to still pass Philip as well, of course. So that's not a deal. But as you can see now, all the soft runners have pitted. Our teammate Danny Moreno has just come into the pits for mediums. So he's the last soft runner, I think so, to pit. As Tomek is now leading the race. Lucas Blakely, fastest lap of the race, 42.3. Which is 1.4 seconds faster than our fastest lap. Of course, the mediums don't really degrade really fast around here. So with the help of DRS, you might be able to improve our own time as well. But Lucas Blakely is only 8.5 seconds behind. And he's on new mediums. So we really need to get our move on here. And get our pace up. This whole group needs to get our pace up. Because by the time we pit, Lucas might be like 3 seconds behind us. So that's not ideal. We've got past Philip Reitschneider now.
Around.
As the next person has Spinalat out. Or well, he's not out, I think so, but you know, he's gonna be out of contention for a decent result. As Philip Reitschneider now has a 6-second time penalty. So he's gonna be in trouble as well once he crosses the line. As you know, 6-second time penalty just puts you out of the good results. So now I have a gap to close in, which is to Tomek Poratsis. It was, I think, 1.8, 1.9 seconds at the end of lap 10. But now we are pushing our ERS levels to get back in the DRS zone of Tomek Poratsis, so we can try and recharge our batteries again, which goes a lot faster if you are getting DRS, of course, as it means you're reaching higher speeds, easier and faster, which means you use less DRS. and then because you've got a higher top speed, you're gonna get more friction braking into Le Combe, for example. So you see, using my last little bit of ERS, or actually not last little bit,
DRS, and into Tomac.
As you can hear me say, we just got out of Philip's DRS 1 second window. So Philip is not gonna get DRS, we are, and now we can start recharging our batteries for a final soft run basically. You see 40%, and Tomac has pitted at the end of lap 14. We're gonna be pitting now. You can see Lucas Blakely only 3 seconds behind us. So if we want to win this race, we're gonna need to put in absolute insane lap times. Honestly, I don't think we can win it from here. 3 seconds to Lucas. We're gonna be losing like 20 seconds in a pit stop, which means we'll have to gain like 2.5 seconds per lap. And of course Spa is a long lap, but our soft tires are gonna be degrading as well. So are their mediums, of course. So yeah, Tomac has done an undercut on us and is 3 seconds ahead now. So he's gained 2 seconds on us just on our in lap.
What is the gap to the leader? Do we know? For me,
as you can hear me say, or ask to the engineers, do we know the gap to the leader? It's probably gonna be just under 20 seconds, more or less. Which means with 7 laps to go, we are gonna need a lot of pace. Well over 2 seconds, as I said before. Now, 2 laps later, we've caught up to Shanika Clay. As you can see in the top left, we've also gained 1.5 seconds to Tomac Poratsius. Shanika has a 3 second penalty and is on old mediums, so he's probably not gonna fight this too hard. As you can see me use a lot of my ERS to try and get back in the DRS of Tomac, who is 1.0 seconds ahead now. But by the time we get to the exit of turn 1, we're gonna be within 1 second probably. You can see already actually on the finish line we are within 1 second. Purple last sector, 42.2. And now we're gonna get DRS finally. I'm not gonna use any ERS anymore, as I just want to recharge my battery, and then we can maybe have a go at the likes of Danny Moreno, Barry Bormand, Jake Benham and Frederik Rasmussen, who are P5, P4, P3, P2. But then Lucas Blakely is 2-3 seconds ahead of them. So I think we have a good chance for maybe P2 here, but I think P1 is definitely out of the question, as Jake Benham has spun. So up to P6 we go, and you can see Danny Moreno has a 3 second time penalty as well. So we only need to gain 3 seconds to him with 3.5 laps to go basically. Now onto the final 3 laps. Again, not using any ERS. We have gained not that much to Danny Moreno. I think they're pushing really hard with their ERS to try and get second in the group. So it's a lot easier to overtake in the final lap. You see Frederik Rasmussen 6 second time penalty, and he's only 6.1 seconds ahead of us. So we have a good chance of at least getting him. Then you can see Pete Barry, 3 second time penalty as well. So if we can put in a good final few laps, we can definitely get P2 here, if we don't get a penalty of course. Tomac doesn't have a penalty as well. So he's in a good position as well. As Frederik Rasmussen has retired from the race. I think he got quite a lot of damage, and with that 6 second time penalty, I felt like, or I think he felt like, he couldn't be bothered anymore. So up to P4 we go, and now we need to gain 2 seconds to Speed Barry to try and get that podium position, as Tomac is going for it, I think so, with the help of DRS. I'm not using any ERS as I want to save it all for the final lap. So down to P5 we go again, and I hope we can have a good final lap to try and snatch that P3 or even P2, as Lucas Blakely is simply too far away. So we're definitely not going to get him onto the final lap then. You can see we're only 2 tenths behind Tomac Poratsius, but still Barry is still 4.6 ahead, which means we need to gain 1.5 seconds just in the final lap to try and have a go at him. And you can see me go for a move into turn 1, and you might think, why on earth is he doing that? That's because CRG Smasher
Fuck me.
is a ghost car, and Tomac is gonna get DRS from that car. So I'm gonna have to pass Tomac here on just slipstream and ERS. So that's gonna be very, very tough. This is the old-fashioned way, basically. But we have a lot less slipstream on the game. Side by side through the comp. I pushed him a little bit too wide, but then I did give him quite a bit of space for this right-hander to not collide. And now this time we did manage to battle safely for the first time on this game, me and Tomac. So finally we got a good battle, a fair battle. But now that battle has ruined our chance a little bit for P3. So yeah, that ghost car was not ideal for our chance of getting P3. We probably would have not gotten it anyway. But yeah, any chance we did have is gone now. Unless Barry makes a mistake, but I reckon he's not gonna make a mistake worth 1.3 seconds. You can see we're gonna be using all of our ERS on this final straight towards Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane, which is the final corner, and we're gonna be coming home in P4. Not my greatest race. I obviously took out Sebastian by accident. Completely my blame. As I said before, I texted him straight after and we were good. So yeah, pretty poor qualifying and race from me overall. Of course we made up for it after quali by going the Outrun strategy, but the battling and the lack of pace just didn't really help, all in all. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the final PSGL preseason league race of this year, basically. There's only gonna be a certain amount of preseason league races until the actual league racing starts to test the game. So one more coming after this, which is WOR, but as I said, I'm not going to be actually driving in that in the season itself. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe if you guys want to see more, and see you guys next time. Ciao.